Hello, dudes. Lori here. And I am going to talk about something that is very controversial, but I'm going to speak my mind. And that is banning anything is wrong, because banning something, it takes away freedom of choice. It takes away your freedom to choose right or wrong. It only gives you it only gives you a reason to not trust the decision made and go your own route. Some people, they don't really care. Like me, I don't really care if certain things are illegal because I agree with it. But it's I kind of understand now that it wouldn't do anything. Banning anything, it would just create drama, essentially. And then if you ban something, you're essentially you're taking away someone's choice, someone's free will to choose something. And if they choose something illegal, then it's like you're setting them up to be charged with something. And I think if your opinion is you personally want something banned, that's okay, because you have a right to your opinion. But then if you actually try to enforce it on other people, then that's where it gets bad. Because with me, I don't do drugs at all. I don't. I hate smoking. I hate cigars. I hate weed. I hate vaping. I hate all the drugs and heroin, all that. And I know that cigarettes and stuff, they're recreational drugs, but they're still drugs. And I think that even though I hate drugs, like telling someone that they can't do something, you're just gonna make them want to do that. Forbidden things are always what's it called? Like, are always admired and wanted and all that. And if you do that with anything, it's just gonna make people want it. And like, unfortunately, even if you make it legal, there's still gonna be people who like it, and there's still gonna be people who don't agree that it should be legal. Like, one thing that I'm really avid about is abortion laws. Like, I personally think that abortion is a choice and always should be. It should always be a choice for a woman to abort. And anyone who thinks that it should be banned, or abortion should it shouldn't exist. Like, I understand where they're coming from, because if someone just aborted because they weren't prepared to have a kid, but they still had intimacy, like that's just being irresponsible. Like, if you don't want a kid, don't do intimacy. That's simple. But then at the same time, it's not as simple as, oh, it's if you're raped, then you get to abort. If you don't have like a high income household and maybe you were influenced to have intimacy, then you get to abort. Like, no, I think it should only be if you're raped, and if you don't have a plan to, like, maybe give it up and give your kid up for adoption or something like that, then yeah, there should be some kind of variance on abortion. It's not as simple as, oh, you got raped? Okay, so you get to abort. It's not as simple as, like, oh, just because you don't have a low income thing, then we're just going to take your kid away and give him up for adoption. Like, it needs to be, there needs to be a voice for the mother and, like, kind of a voice for the life. But at the same time, you need to make sure that, like, even though like even though abortion, to me, it's like, it's still wrong no matter what. I think it's wrong no matter what, killing a life. But if you're raped and you are pregnant from that, and you have to go through that, you have to go through like 6 months or 9 months of having that thing in you that you didn't even want, and you it was forced upon you. That's the whole thing. If something is forced upon you, you should immediately be allowed to, like, escape, get rid of it. Because even though some people say that, some people say that you, the kid didn't rape you, the father did. And then it's like, yeah, but at the same time, it's not that simple. His DNA is within the kid, plus yours. It's on a whole nother level. But at the same time, you should never ban a choice. Like, people think that there should be tighter gun laws, and people think that there shouldn't be gun laws. It shouldn't exist. But at one point, it's to the point where we find anything wrong and we make it illegal, or we make it legal, or something like that, and we get offended by everything, and we can't talk about anything because everyone gets offended by anything. We can't talk to each other about politics. We can't talk to each other about religion. We can't talk to each other about abortion. We can't talk about each other with politics or gun laws or anything, or transgender rights, or anything that involves, like, oh, maybe it's a difference of opinion. We should all be open to all the different views. And just because, like, I think that abortion, it should be a choice no matter what. I think that abortion should be a choice no matter what. And at the same time, with the gun laws, I think that they are, I get where they're coming from. They just want to, like, make sure that no crazies get it. They want to protect people. But at the same time, you need to know the person. That goes with anything. I think the reason why people ban stuff is because you don't know the person. So you don't know what they're going to do. So just generalize it. Just ban everything. Because you think everyone is going to be the same thing. You can't generalize people. And you can't generalize laws. There needs to be one main law and, like, some, like, little subsequent laws. Like with guns, it shouldn't be illegal to own a gun. And there shouldn't be any laws stopping you from owning any gun. You just, like, the person that's selling you the gun, they need to be qualified first to sell you a gun. And they need to make sure that you know all the risks, and then, yeah, you own a gun. Like, as long as people know the risks and they know what they're gonna do, and then the person that's advising them, they know the person, what's the point of, like, having rules? If you actually talk to people and get to know them, you would know who gets to have the opportunities and who shouldn't. It shouldn't be a law against everyone. Like, with weed, that was a big thing, and a lot of people wanted to legalize it, and a lot of people didn't. And like the marijuana it cures cancer, but at the same time, it's not the marijuana that would cure anything. It's something, a chemical in marijuana that is doing the curing, but it's actually like marketed as, um, oh, marijuana cures everything. Get high and all that, and then it's like, no, something in marijuana cures it, not the high part. But we don't talk to each other. We don't get to know anything. So we just assume anything. Like we hear an opinion that's different from each other, different from ourselves. So then we ignore it or we get defensive about it. But we don't talk to each other about it, and that's what should stop. Like if I find someone who like they have a difference of opinion from me, even if it's a big issue, I would still want to know their side of it. I would still want to know everything that goes on in their head. Like, what are they thinking when they speak about this? And I will want them to know my side of it too. You can't just say, oh, well, you can't just be smart and say, oh, well, here's all these facts to prove I'm right, so you're wrong. It's like, it's not, there's no right and wrong answer. It's something, like with abortion. Um, there's a lot of risks involved, but now it's so advanced that you can abort like super early now. The kid isn't even born yet. But people are still angry about that. Like, it's just the fact of abortion they're angry at. But at the same time, we need to actually try to listen to each other. And actually, if we have a difference of opinion, there is going to be some tension. But we all need to be able to be open to other people's opinions. And it doesn't mean that they're right or it doesn't mean that they're wrong. And it doesn't mean we're right or we're wrong. It means we have an opinion and we're discussing that opinion. And if people if people try to get defensive about it and try to attack you, then there are people that just, they want to hear that they're right. They want to think that they're right and they're not. No one is right. There's no right and wrong. Well, you can think something is wrong and you could think something is right, but it's not as clear as that. And it's so frustrating that that's true. But I think that banning anything is wrong because it takes away your freedom of choice. And I'm all about freedom of choice. People should do whatever the heck they want. I just think that if it were up to me, yeah, I would ban a lot more stuff. But at the same time, it just proves that you're controlling. It just proves you want everyone to be like you. It just proves that you don't want to work at being friends with someone that has a different opinion than you. It just proves you're weak, really. And because it's easy to be friends with people. It's harder to have differences and still be friends. But that's my take on it. Banning things is stupid and useless because takes away your freedom to think. And if you're if something is advised that you shouldn't do, but it's not a rule, then yeah, maybe it should be like that. Maybe you should be advised not to use like something in vain, but you should be able to still use it. People drink. Yeah, all you need to do is be 21. That's it. And that's a stupid age because you should start drinking when you're 25 because that's when everything develops. But people have their reasons, and I try to accept it. I try to be willing to be open to all sorts of opinions, and I hope that people are open to hear my opinions, because it's just that, it's opinions. Our opinions can be supported by facts, but still, it's our opinion that we think it's wrong or right. And maybe there's a way to tell that it is right or wrong. Maybe there's a way to tell if we're right or wrong. But I don't have any ways to figure that out. So I don't think I'm right or wrong when I say that I think banning anything is wrong. I think that. And I don't try to push my opinion on other people. I try not to. Like, I'm not perfect. I try not to. Sometimes I come off like that, but try not to. But that's my piece about it, and I want to know your guys' thoughts. I want to know if you can be open like that with people. If you could actually talk to them, even if they have a difference of opinion, and if they're willing to actually know what you feel. Because if someone's willing to listen to you, even if they have a difference of opinion, that means that they really want to know you, that they really want to be around you. Because you guys have a difference of opinion and they could rage quit. Like, that's the word I use. But, yeah, I want to know if you guys could talk to other people about what's on your mind. And if you can, what do you guys talk about? But, anyways, this marks the end of the video, and I hope you liked it, even though it's controversial. Anyways, laters, peoples. Bye. 10 seconds of dun dun dun. Thanks for watching.